guys, today I wanted to do something a little bit different on my channel. I wanted to do something that we as teachers always do in our profession, and that's reflect. I wanted to reflect on some of the really great things that happened in my classroom, and then I wanted to reflect on some of the things that just weren't quite working too great in my room. And at the very end of this video, I do have a small little giveaway for you guys. So if you want to see what the giveaway is, keep watching. So one of the first things that I really thought just hit it for me for the month of February, and it just kept me so organized and Johnny on the spot every single day. And I felt really accomplished too, like every day. I didn't go home thinking, oh man, I got something else to do and I forgot to do this and I needed to do this. But this helped me stay super organized. And if you saw my Periscope that I did last week, then you'll kind of know what it already is. So in my teacher planner, I tried to sit down and just dump it all out. I have a really favorite book of mine that is about productivity and just getting yourself organized. It's called Getting Things Done by David Allen, and it's a phenomenal book. And if you have not read Getting Things Done, please check it out, go listen to it, grab the audiobook from the library. So I sat down and I literally just dumped it all out. I got out everything that I do within a month, with everything that I do within a weekly basis, on a daily basis. And then I went even further and I broke those down into daily categories of when can I start getting certain things done. Because I feel like my problem was that I was constantly wanting to do everything all in one day, and that's overwhelming, and you're not setting yourself up for success, essentially. So with this, I'm going to pull it up to you guys. That's what it looks like. So here's where I literally just dumped it all out. I have my monthly, my weekly, my daily, and then I went a little bit further. I don't want to talk too much in detail about it because I will do a video about how I did my daily dump and some of the other things that keep me organized. But this was absolutely phenomenal. I literally was able to just get every single day what exactly was it that I needed to have done. And on those mornings when I don't have anything to do because I set up everything the afternoon before for the next morning, I was able to just get certain things finished. And so by the end of the day, I'm like, wow, that was easy. That was simple. I'm pretty much done. Now all I have to do is get ready for tomorrow morning. So I don't come in and I don't feel like completely hectic. So this has been a huge love for me for the month of February. So the next thing that I absolutely loved for the month of February is not really something that I can just show it to you guys. It's actually something that I use within my instruction. It is called the Orton-Gillingham instructional approach. And what the Orton-Gillingham instructional approach is, and it's meant for children with dyslexia. Within the schools, we are starting to see signs of dyslexia within children for the younger years. So our district has decided to put us through the training for Orton-Gillingham so that we have this new way of being able to teach and kind of help these students that are being termed as dyslexic. Now, the reason why I love it, and I don't have any children that are dyslexic in my classroom, is I love it for spelling. So with the Orton-Gillingham, it's a very strategic instructional approach. And what I loved about it is that it gets everybody on the same page in our school. And then at the same time, they are getting so much practice. They are hearing it, they're seeing it, they're doing it, they're feeling it. It's just a great way for children to be able to remember how to spell sight words correctly. And then it's also helping them with directionality. If you're still having children who are struggling with directionality and where to begin, and some of them are still having reversals, this is really going to help that. So if you haven't heard about Orton-Gillingham, please check it out. Talk to your reading coach, talk to your administrators, because it is a fantastic instructional approach. Okay, so the next thing that I have that is a February love for me is kind of going to go along the lines of the Orton-Gillingham, because it is my small group plans. And the reason why I love them is because Orton Gillingham, again, is just a very strategic and certain way of teaching things that you can kind of put it in and you already know what you're going to be doing. You can just switch out the sight words. Now, I don't do everything with my small group for Orton Gillingham in one time, because I will literally sit with that small group for 30 minutes and I can't do that because I have other children that I have to meet with. But what I did was I broke up the Orton Gillingham and I put it based on the different group levels, and I'm based on what my kids need. And so now what my small group plans look like are here. And what it is up at the top, I have kind of that phonics and Orton Gillingham model up here, and I have it very strategic and it's written down exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. Then I put down my comprehension, my phonological skill here, and then I have a space for notes. I absolutely love this. This is something that I can easily just make a copy of. I can write it in if I want to just write it in. And it's great. My students have been doing really well. I feel like my small groups have been going faster, because when I first started Orton Gillingham, it was, oh my stars, I'm here for 30-40 minutes with one group and I haven't been able to meet with all my other kids. So that was a huge struggle for us. So this is how I decided to fix that, is I've just broke it up depending on the concept that I'm teaching, so that I know that maybe, for my lower group, because I meet with them 5 days every day, I am focusing on the sight words for the first 2 days, and then I'm focusing on our sound. And then I have our dictation at the very end. So it's breaking it up for me, and it's making it to where my students come to my table and they know exactly what they're going to be doing on a certain day and how they're going to be doing it. Now the games and little things here that we do, the book always changes. So they're still engaged and they're still loving that part. But they know when we first start coming down and we're sitting down, we're warming up with Orton Gillingham. This has been a phenomenal help for me. So the next thing that I have is based on my super centers. And my super centers are my literacy centers that I have. In the beginning, I had where my students have a yellow folder, and their yellow folder is inside of their chair pocket. And as my students finished work, they were to just put it in their chair pocket inside of their yellow folder. On Fridays, I would collect their yellow folders, and then I would check them off that they've completed their assignments, and I was done. So that was getting to be a bit of an overload for me. So here's what I did. I took my file folders, and each super center has one of these. And it has all their names, and it lists the number of that super center. Now inside of the bucket, this was always sitting on top, and all of the materials would be underneath of this file folder. So when the students were finished with it, they will come back, they will cross their name off, and they will stick their materials inside. So here you can see a student was finished. Now I went on ahead and wiped it off because y'all, this gets really messy, no lie. It gets really disgusting by the end of the week. But see, here's just the second one. After they're finished, they would come up, they would cross it off, and they would stick it inside of this file folder. So the only thing that I would have to do is just go and collect these file folders. Now, the yellow folder still comes into play for me, because if they're not finished with their work, and let's say we have to clean up to go to lunch or go to PE or specials or what have you, they would put it in their yellow folder as I'm still working on this and I have to get it finished. But all finished material comes in here. So it also helped me because during one of my breaks, I can easily just open up that drawer and I can see who has finished it and who has not finished it. So I could pull that out at the end of the day and said, hey guys, you have 15 minutes of free being able to, your exploration time is what we called it. And that was, you could read, you can write, you can do math, you can work on these, but your things had to be done because I'm trying to teach that responsibility with my kids. So they knew that I would pull this out and say, ooh, look, I have so-and-so, so-and-so, you don't have any of this finished. You need to get this done. Don't forget, it gets turned in on Friday. So it just kept them accountable and it allowed me to have a really easy place for me to just pull it out and say, I don't have some of my kids' stuff. So this has been a huge help for me with my super centers. The next thing that I really loved for the month of February in my classroom was In the mornings, if you've seen some of my vlogs, in the mornings, my students come in and they complete their counting jar. And then after their counting jar, because I'm doing my tier 2 intervention in the morning, I need to kind of have some quiet downtime so that I can do that. I keep other students doing different tasks. And this could kind of essentially be almost like that word work and that just practice with your phonics. So I have little letters, a little cup of letters, and there's 4 different cups with 4 different colored paper letters in there. Not letters, words, my apologies. I have words in there. So what they'll do is each table will have one color. And all of the kids will work out of that one cup, pulling words and doing different activities with them. So every day it was just a different activity. So we had gotten to the point where we had, on Tuesdays, it was Type It Out Tuesday. And they had like a little keyboard where they would be able to type out the words. So they'd pull a card, read the card, and then type the card back, put the card up, and they would pull the next one. Well, they were getting a little bored with that, and I started seeing that I had a lot more noise happening in the classroom. I had a lot of kids that when I looked up for my tier 2 intervention that they weren't getting their things done, so I wanted to do something just a little bit different. I wanted to continue having that typing practice because they need it, especially when they go to computer lab. So here's what I did different, and I found this. I hope this is not too shiny. I got this, and I cannot remember from who, to be honest, but it's a freebie on Teachers Pay Teachers, and I will leave a link down below for you guys. So now I call it, instead of Type It Out Tuesday, it's Techie Tuesday. I don't know, I'm a sucker. So it's Techie Tuesday, and they will still type it, but this time they're also writing the word. So they pull the card from their cup, they read the card, they type the card, and then they go and write the card. So it's something different that they have actually started really enjoying this one for Tuesdays. Talking again along the same lines of morning activities for my kids, and I will go ahead and just say that this is something that I saw that I was struggling with, and I've kind of put a few of those in here and there, but something else that I've been struggling with, and I still haven't quite figured out all of them for the month of February. So this is something that I'm really going to have to rethink and figure out what am I going to be doing to help keep my kids engaged for it. Is again with sight word practice in the morning during my tier 2 intervention time. Something that I started doing just a little bit different so that I can have my kids think more, because I want to create thinkers in my class. That on Thursdays now, instead of them just pulling words and just writing their words, which is what we were doing, and then I had some students writing a sentence with their words, but they were going through that really quick and they were getting bored of it. So here's what I did to make it a little bit harder and to also have them think a little more. For this, they have to pull now 2 cards, and they are pulling those out and they are having to create a sentence with those 2 words. So I have the word come, and then I have the word the. They would have to read those words and think about how are they going to make that into a sentence. Can you come to the park? That would be my sentence, and then I would go and write it down. And then they would have to go back and circle the 2 words that they had to use in their sentence. So essentially they would have to circle the word come, and they would have to circle the word the inside of that sentence on their paper. And they would bring it to me as they were cleaning up and getting their stuff ready, and I would just be able to kind of run through it really quick and just check them off and give them a smiley faces sticker, just depending on the day. But this has also been something that I really enjoyed because I feel like they're having to think a little bit more, and it's not something that, look at my hat. So something that is just so simple, it's making them having to think of more complex sentences, if that makes any sense at all. So the next thing that I have that I want to share with you guys that has actually started to really work for me for the month of February. Now I've only been doing it for 1 month, so I can't honestly say that this is going to be my set way of doing it. The thing that I've been loving is my Kiki K. And what I'm loving about this, and I brought it back because I had her for a while and then I stopped using her because I tried different things that I wasn't really loving. But I started to fall in love with bullet journaling. And it was around the month of December that I think I started doing bullet journaling. And I started using a Midori instead, and then I actually started using like an actual bullet journal that you can get. but I am so OCD between my handwriting, between, having certain things look right. I don't know. I really honestly cannot tell you what goes on in my head sometimes. But I have been doing bullet journaling and surprisingly, it has been working out so well for me. Now, I do have different categories and tabs that allow me to put different information in certain places. So I have a video that's going to be coming up I think I have it scheduled for March, that kind of gives you an inside look of how I keep myself organized with my Kiki K planner. So you guys will get to see an inside look of how I keep myself organized. But bullet journaling inside of this has definitely been one of my favorites for this month. Okay, so the last thing that I have to share with you guys is going along the lines of my giveaway. So my giveaway is coming up really, really quick. And what it is it's called Jamberry Nails. And if you have not heard about Jamberry Nails, the only way that I can explain it to you is that it is essentially a sticker for your nails. Yes, I know it sounds a little weird, but they're actually really, really cool. So it's a heat activated sticker, and that the heat will activate the glue so that it will adhere to your nail nicely. And the reason why I love this so much is for a few different reasons. One reason is because I'm not one that likes to pay to go get my nails done. I don't feel like it lasts long enough for me. I don't enjoy it. It's just not something that, for me personally, I like. Another reason why I like it is because there's no dry time. One of my problems that whenever I went to go and paint my nails is that I'd have to sit there and wait for them to dry. So I would have to do it at night when all my kids go to sleep, and then I would have to wait for them to dry in order for me to go to bed. And that was a huge, can't do this anymore type deal. And another reason why I really like Jamberry nails is because I don't bite my nails. I am a habitual nail biter and nail picker. I have a lot of anxiety, or when I'm stressed, or when I'm just have a lot going on, I will pick and bite at my nails like crazy. And y'all, my nails are growing so beautifully right now because of Jamberry, because I don't pick at them. They don't chip like normal nail polish would. So it comes out, they're so beautiful, and they have such a huge, big range of colors and patterns and so many things that you can do, and it literally takes me about 5 minutes to put them on. I put them on. Now, I will tell you that the first time you go to try to put these on your nails, you may mess up. I messed up. I messed up on like 3 of my fingers. And it takes practice, and it takes time for you to learn what's the best way that works for you to be able to put them on easily. And now it's gotten to the point where I can put them on so easily. They last me 2 weeks. And when I say they last me 2 weeks, they do. So before I tell you about my giveaway, I want you to see what it comes like. So it comes in a little package like this. It's a very small envelope. And inside of the envelope comes the wraps, the nail wraps. And this is what they look like. So here's a color that I ordered, and I have not put these on yet. I have been doing my color that I have on now, which is a daydream color. It's a very kind of paley pink, which is really pretty. And so here's what the wraps look like. And the wraps will last you about a month. I've had this pale pink color for a month. Now I've had to switch them out, but it comes with enough for you to have for a month. So when you open it up, this is what the package looks like. And you only need one side to do both of your hands. So you can essentially have this whole thing for a month, which is fantastic to me. I don't know. In my opinion, it is, because I don't bite my nails. Y'all, anything that just makes me not want to bite my nails is fantastic in my book, let me tell you. Okay, so now time for my giveaway. And Christina, which is the wonderful person that I met on YouTube that has introduced me to Jamberry in the first place, I order all of my Jamberry wraps now through her. and she has generously offered to give away a pedi pack. So if you're interested in Jamberry nails and want to try it out to see if maybe this is something that might work for you, plus, I mean, y'all, springtime is coming up. You got sandals, you're gonna be whipping those things out. You know, you can't have your toes looking awful, right? So she is sending out a pedi pack to one viewer. Now, in order to be eligible for the pedi pack, you have to live in the US or Canada, and the only thing that I ask for you to do is to leave a comment down below and tell me what is one thing that you have been loving for the month of February. What is something that you've been doing in your classroom that you just say, oh my gosh, I can't believe how great this is, and I have to share it out with everybody. It's your time to share it out. Share it out. Let me know what's been working so great for you for the month of February down below, and you will automatically get entered a chance to win the Jamberry Pedi Pack with Christina. So if you are interested in that, I'll leave a link to Christina's page where you can go check out all of the Jamberry wraps. I will also leave a link down to her Facebook. I will also leave a link down below to try a sample pack. She does give away some sample packs. So if you're interested in trying it out to see if this might be something that you would be interested in or could probably work for you like it did for me, I have it all down below. So please go and check that out. Okay, so guys, this was my very first February reflection, and I still have some things that are not quite working so well in my classroom, and I'm not sure if it's just that spring fever starting to come up, but you know, my morning times are starting to get a little bit louder. So I'm gonna start trying to think of some ways that I can reduce some of that and get my kids busy. They're getting bored with some of the things they've been doing with their sight words in the mornings. So if you have any other thoughts and ideas as far as what you do in your classroom to keep your kids kind of engaged and busy and really working with words and working with sounds or anything to that extent, let me know so that I can try it out. But that's something that I'm definitely going to have to try and fix for myself. Another thing that I want to try to fix is to give my kids a little bit more like accountability and more of an ownership with their sight words. I don't feel like some of them are really owning in the fact that they are completing or learning some of their sight words, or they haven't quite learned those sight words and they need to practice those more. I do give my kids individual cards, so everybody's individualized. If they are pretty much where everybody else is, they're working out of the cup. And now, you know, I have some kids that are on first grade level. I have some kids who still don't know some of the sight words that they need to master for this 9 weeks. So they have their own special individualized list. But I want them to really take more ownership and feel more pride in trying to learn and practice those more. I just don't feel like my kids, when they have downtime, I want them to be able to say, oh, you know, I don't know this and I need to go pull this out and start working on it. So that's something else that I'm really going to try to fix for the month of March to see if I can get my kids to take a little more ownership in their own learning. I really hope that you guys enjoyed watching this video. It gave you some really great ideas or things that you can do in your classroom, and maybe it even helps you to go back and reflect on what you did in your room and what's working for you and what you think that you might change. Hopefully, some of the things that aren't working for you in your room, I hope that I gave you some ideas that will help you for the month of March. So if you have any questions or comments, please make sure to leave them down below. And also, if you enjoyed watching this video, would like to see more, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe so you can see more material that I have to come, because I plan on giving you guys so many great ideas in the future. I am so excited about this. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Bye! Today I am teaming up with Teach.com on their series called 8 Questions. So this is where they conduct brief interviews with people who have